Oh, you scared me. I wasn't expecting you there. I was just looking for my next deck that I was going to play. Oh, look, there it is. And yes, if you watched my top 7 cards I was most excited to brew with, then you would know that Voja, Jaws of the Conclave, was at the top of that list. And so today we are playing a Voja, Jaws of the Conclave Elf Tribal deck. The card is just amazing all by itself. 5 mana, 5/5 Vigilance, Trample, Ward 3, and whenever Voja Jaws of the Conclave attacks, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control. Then draw a card for each wolf you control. The card is strong enough by itself, even if it had 0 text below its keywords. And the fact that it has such amazing text below the keywords is the entire reason I'm trying to find a way to build around it. Now, I will give you this is just a test. I'm trying this deck out. I don't have a ton of games yet with this deck, so it is a work in progress, but I feel like I've found a pretty good medium. We're playing it in a Storm the Festival shell, as well as adding some Nahiri's Resolves to the list. I'll get to why in a few moments, but let's go ahead and start with the creatures. We've got 4 Llanowar Stalkers because having a nice 1-drop is relevant, and the fact that this gets +1/+0 anytime we play a creature basically makes it a 1 mana 2/1, and sometimes it gets even bigger than that later on. Gala Greeters and Llanowar Loam Speaker as ways to ramp into our Storm the Festivals, Vojas, and Nahiri's Resolves, and also their elves. Gala Greeters is also nice because it can grow and it can also gain its life against mono red, which is really important. Yavimaya Iconoclast because it has trample, which is very important with Voja's ability to put counters on everything, making sure that those counters aren't wasted by getting blocked by little 1/1 tokens is very valuable. So, and the fact that we can give it haste for 3 mana with +1/+1 is pretty nice. Couple of lightning helixes because I feel like playing these colors and not at least playing a couple lightning helixes to either remove creatures out of the way, help us push through larger creatures, or just deal that last couple damage to the face would be a waste of a slot. So I feel like this is going to be very helpful. So I'm playing at least a couple. Cemetery Prowler, it's a very good blocker. It has vigilance, it happens to be a wolf, so it gives us one other wolf in the deck to help trigger Voja's second ability to draw for each wolf. So if we have one of these on the battlefield when we attack with this, we get to draw 2 cards and put counters on things, which is really nice. And then it also helps reduce the cost of Storm the Festival, Nahiri's Resolve, and our creatures, and instance as well. Depending on what we're playing against, we can exile cards from our opponent's graveyard that line up best with how we want our future turns to go. So if we really are looking to cast Voja on turn 4, we can exile a creature card from our graveyard, or maybe we want to cast Storm the Festival and they've cast a sorcery, we can exile that and reduce the cost of that. Then also Sentinel of the Lost Lore because it's probably the best 3-drop elf that we can put in the slot. Being a 3/4, it blocks well, and it has 3 relevant abilities. Exiling graveyards is very good against the mono blue tempo decks that are running around and tend to prey on decks like this, people brewing like this in the early days of a new set drop, as well as being able to return some adventures to get rid of them, so that can be quite useful, as well as to get rid of adventures on the other side of the battlefield if we have an opponent that has an adventured card like any of the virtues, things like that. And then Fleetfoot Dancer, which I feel like is a very forgotten, left in the dust old card from New Capenna, but it's really strong. It's a 4 mana 4/4 trample lifelink haste. That's very good, especially in this deck because we, being able to Storm the Festival. If we Storm the Festival and hit Voja and this, or Nahiri's Resolve and Voja, and this is already on the battlefield, it's very good, and it also has trample, so it benefits from Voja's counters very, very well because it, we don't lose any damage to getting chump blocked. It's also just very good against stabilizing against other aggressive decks. So I'm trying the card out because I think that it's a great card for the 4 slot, and we'll see how it goes. So with that, let's get into some games. Let's see if we can't crush some of our opponents in the jaws of Voja. Ready. Dragon 7. I'm Severin 7. Severin 7 versus Dragon 7. Alright, we go first, and I like this hand. Razor Verge Thicket for us. Calling course for the opponent. So we're up against. Ooh, that's a great draw. Up against probably Bant Poison then, maybe? Or Mono White Poison. See if the opponent. Yep, scroll 5. Alright, so the question is, what do we play here? Probably Fleet the Dancer. And that way if we draw land, we just drop Voja. And if this puts them in a tough spot because like they have the Annex entry, the 3 mana exile a creature with 3 or less. So they can get rid of our Loam Speaker. Ossification works too. Opponent gets in for 1. And a Copperline Gorge. We will play an Iconoclast. We'll get in there for 5. No point in leaving the Loam Speaker back. Need every ounce of damage we can get. Stay down arms. The opponent can turn on. What is it? Corrupted? Yeah, okay. So we'll play Voja here. They should not be able to remove this. Not with Ward 3. That's why I love this card so much, because the Ward, like if it didn't have Ward 3, it would be almost unplayable. The Ward 3 just makes it so hard to remove with targeted removal. It's like no matter what he does, and it's vigilant, so it can block on top of it. If we draw a land and storm the festival into Nahiri's Resolve or something, we're just in great shape. I mean, he can definitely attack with the mites and get some more toxic damage in here. Akasha's welcome. That's not going to do a whole lot for him. And you got to remember, he's losing life every turn to the Skrull 5. So if he's not attacking, he's not offsetting that cost. Yeah, so he attacks. He can give it +2/+1. That's not enough to do anything. So we'll block here so that we have a creature that we can exile with the Cemetery Prowler. Opponent decides to gain 3 life that way. Draw a card. Nahiri's Resolve's pretty good. I don't know if that's what we're casting though. I think we're gonna play Cemetery Prowler and exile the sorcery, so then we can play Storm the Festival next turn. That's a pretty hefty chunk of damage. Opponent's drawing lots of cards. And we are very close to dead on Toxic, but I mean, they shouldn't be able to, yeah, they can remove the Cemetery Prowler, but that's not going to kill Voja. We have Storm the Festival mana now. Well, if they remove Lone Speaker, we don't. Then we need to draw land. They may have another ossification. Jawbone Duelist. It does gain them some life. Block one of the mites. Lightning Helix. I mean, I think just Lightning Helix and get in there. GG's. Get out of here, Toxic. Ooh. Having too much fun with this thing. Devtron 7. All these 7s lately. We go first. We don't have any red mana though. Do I trust that we're gonna find it? Oh man, this hand is terrible if we don't find red mana. This is not as exciting, but it's good. So I'm gonna put a Gala Greeters back. Play Thicket, Llanowar Stalker. Mono red. Well, that was fair. Loam Speaker. Here's some red mana. Alright, so we will play Gala Greeters. Llanowar Stalker, make a treasure. And that way we can potentially play Voja next turn, assuming they don't kill our Loam Speaker. We'll get in there for one. I don't see any way that we can get punished for attacking with the Llanowar Loam Speaker here. They have a burn spell, so we will see. Thinking about something. Alright. Mechanized warfare. Alright, so they're gonna start making us sad. We're gonna go ahead and play Voja, because at the very least they can't do anything about him. Get in there for 3. And then next turn, Reckless Impulse. They find a shock, but all that can really do is kill one of our creatures. They kill our Loam Speaker, that's fine. We've got the treasure to play the Fleetfoot Dancer. Do they have another burn spell? Doesn't look like it. Fleetfoot Dancer. I mean, even if they kill one of these elves, this is still a really good turn for us. Counter. Stalker gets bigger. If they don't have removal, they're just dead. I think they're dead anyway, with the trigger on the stack. Yep. Good game. Yeah, that was pretty quick. I'm ready. Are you ready, Mr. Havoc? Got some Havoc for you. Get to go first. This is a good curve. I like it. Copperline Gorge, Stalker. Bivouac for the opponent. Well, let's play Loam Speaker here. Loam Speaker means we can play Fleetfoot Dancer on 3. Fleetfoot Dancer is very good. Mono faces Conclave. They're not going to like this Fleetfoot Dancer very much. Rockfall Veil. Play the Dancer. There's Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. See if the opponent has removal for the Stalker here. Nope. Down to 12, and we're up 23. We've got Gala Greeters Iconoclast next turn. Anim Pakal. That is a good card. A little bit slow here though. Gala Greeters. Pump. Iconoclast the kicker. Pump the Gala Greeters. We're just all in on being aggressive right now, so I'm not going to worry about making treasures. The board state should be enough. Opponent's down to 1. Flip the Kumano. Fleetfoot Dancer's a house, man. Ooh, Angel Fire Ignition. Does that change anything? Monster Rage. Ouch! Oh man, okay. That got out of hand quick. Sentinel of Lost Floor. Counter. Exile the graveyard so they can't recast that nonsense. Let's make our planes an elemental and get in there. That is still lethal. They should have blocked one of the 3/3s that didn't have trample. Next opponent, Raiden E? Raiden something? Alright, we're on the play. See if the opponent decides to keep. Oh, I should have played one of these tap lands first. Oopsie. Oh, we're gonna get punished for that. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Not punished. Land playing. Very important to make sure that you're playing things in the right order. I should have played one of these lands that comes into play tap first because I didn't have a second untapped land. And then played the Razor Verge Thicket. See if the opponent has removal for our Loam Speaker. Get Lightning Strike. It's still 3 damage, not going to our face. This Fleetfoot Dancer is going to be huge against them. Let's go ahead and play Cemetery Prowler. Exile our Loam Speaker. Make all our stuff keep. Should at least make their turn a little harder because this is a good blocker. And even if they find a way to kill it, we can still play Dancer next turn, so. Urbrath Forge. Well, they still can't really attack. Not with the Swift Spear, anyway. And the fact that Prowler has Vigilance is super good. Alright, so let's play that. Let's play Fleetfoot Dancer. And then we'll play Iconoclast. Get in there. Exile their sorcery, or their instant. Now if we draw our weapons, well, Lightning Helix doesn't get to cost less. They don't get to get it back though, ever. At the very least. Mountain for the opponent. Big surprise. Charming Scoundrel. See if they decide to make a treasure, but they might discard. Okay, discard draw. What do they discard? Beldon. They draw Mono, faces Toxon. One to the face. Urbrath Forge, make the 2/1. They still can't really profitably attack here. They must not know what to do with all this not hitting the attack all button. Get in there with everything. Play with fire? Maybe? Nope. Opponent's a 3. Tick-tock. What you got, opponent? A big scooperoonie. That's what they... We have found an opponent. Ito Shiying. What's going on, Ito? Opponent's going first. Is this doable? It is. Got a lot of 5-drops in our hand. Well, this might be the Boros. Oh, okay. We didn't want to draw another Voja. I love you, Voja, but that's all of them. That's all that we only have 3 in the deck. We drew them all. Human. Okay, so this is the Boros Invoke list. So we might just get stomped. This is another list I'm going to be playing soon. Play Soakinzan, play Loam Speaker. We might be able to keep up with Fleetfoot Dancer. If we keep drawing lands, we're in good shape, but we need to draw lands. I think I just want to draw lands for the rest of the game, pretty much. Anim Pakal. Very good. Go ahead and block. We need to draw a land. That's not a land. But it does let us cast our creatures for cheaper. We're definitely not out of this game yet, for sure. If we draw a land next turn, we can play Voja and then follow it up with a Fleetfoot Dancer. Really depends on what the opponent does, how crazy they go. Cemetery Prowler is a good blocker. Imotane's Recruiter is really good. We are in trouble. A lot of damage. And we're dead. Palmer, 1, 2, 3, 4. Arnold Palmer. This is not a good hand. This is not great, but it could be a lot worse. Let's play the planes first. We'd like to play these when we absolutely have to. Mono from the opponent. Alright, so we gotta play this so that we can play the greeters. We need a creature so that we can make treasure. Lightning Helix will be good if we ever find the red mana. No play from the opponent. Interesting. We find a creature. We'll play Llanowar Stalker. Make a treasure. Get in there for 1. And that's a Voja this turn. So the fact that the opponent's had such a slow start. Yavimaya Iconoclast. They say slow and then they immediately speed up. So Aganjo, let's play Voja. We will create another tap treasure token because we want to be able to use this Lightning Helix next turn and get in. We're not going to block. We want to keep as many elves around as possible for this Voja. The next turn, if they shouldn't be able to remove Voja here. The Ward 3 is so good. There's nothing for 1 mana that kills them. Bang it to get, well, we can Lightning Helix that. Play with fire. They kill our greeter. That's unfortunate. Opponent doesn't attack. Alright, so we're going to play a Plains. We're going to play a Cemetery Prowler. Exile that. And then kill the Fang. Get in there, draw 2. Opponent's down to 5. No blocks. That leads me to believe they don't have any burn or pump spells in their hands, so that's good. Thundering Raiju, that's not going to do it. Alright, let's play a Loam Speaker, put more elves onto the battlefield, and Lightning Helix, this Raiju, and get in there. Draw 2 cards, put counters on everything. Oh, it feels good. Voja, too strong. See if we can find somebody who's not mono red. It's a very mono red avatar though. Legion 78. Alright, we go first. I like going first. This is a reasonable hand. Farmland first. Not gonna repeat past mistakes of forgetting to play those first when we don't have a 1-drop. Yep, mono red. Oh boy. Alright, Iconoclast. Elf with a big sword. Not mono red. Up the beanstalk. Alright, what is this nonsense? Play Cemetery Prowler. Nothing to exile yet, but I'm not gonna play nothing just because of that. Dinosaur. Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Well, that is the thing they can do. No attack. Another up the beanstalk. An intrepid paleontologist. Opponent's choosing not to attack. We'll play a Gala Greeter. No attack. Another paleontologist. Fresh land means Voja time. Treasure token. No attacks. Depending on what they do here, it's a matter of whether or not we... So Bornho Doricosaur is very good. They get to draw a bunch of cards. And they have enough mana to play another Hammer Skull if they draw one. Let's storm the festival, see what happens. Sentinel and Iconoclast. Pump. Treasure. Exile the graveyard. How many elves is that? We got 4 elves, so everything gets +4/+4. I'm good with that. And we draw 2 cards. Yeah, I'm good with that. Nice, says the opponent. Yeah, I agree. That is nice. Opponent gives us the GGs. Yeah, okay. They could definitely like trade, but we'd have a pretty strong board state left over. Because thankfully, Voja does not care whether the creatures are attacking or not. So even the stuff that comes in without haste gets counters. All right, next up is the Brit. What's going on, the Brit? You get to go first. This is not an exciting hand. This is better. We will put back Lightning Helix as much as I want to keep it. 1, 2. This 1, 2, 3 curve is too good. Break up for Lightning Helix, I think. The opponent plays a Sundown Pass. Alright, so some kind of Boros or something. Maybe Naya or Jeskai. So far, just Boros. Alright, play land or Loam Speaker. We got a Voja now. Need one more land. See if the opponent has a Lightning Bolt or a Helix here. Get in for 2. Resolute Reinforcements. Alright, so they're going to kill our Stalker. That's alright. Against this deck, because now it's looking like it's the Boros Convoke list. Against this deck, I think, yeah, War Leader's Call. I think we just care about keeping creatures off their board. So, let's go ahead and play Cemetery Prowler here. So we can cast Voja next turn. We're just going to have to go over the top of them. Because they're gonna, with War Leader's Call and the pinging and the +1/+1, it's gonna get out of hand quick. But if they don't have a lot of removal, we can get out of hand way faster. So we'll see. If we draw a land, we can play Voja and so Skrell's Hive. Nothing for the opponent. All right, so we don't draw the land. So let's play Voja. Get in with the Prowler. If they have a Helix here, that's unfortunate, but we already got the Voja down, so I'm not too worried about it. Because we can play Iconoclast and Fleetfoot Dancer next turn and pump our team really good. Let's see what they got. They have something. They're thinking about something. What is it? Like these new board animations. Alright, they let it through. You take a damage. Ping us for a damage. I really like this card. I'm gonna build a deck around this card as well. Probably a very token-centric strategy, to be honest, but I think Scroll's Hive is a little bit much. I don't really like Scroll's Hive in the list, to be honest. Even though it's repeatable tokens, I think there are better options. I've always thought having something on the board that slowly kills you every turn is probably not a good idea. I've watched way too many people die to that trigger. All right. Well, it's not a land, but Fleetfoot Dancer. See if the opponent has something good here. Nope. I'm ready. DM Lewis. What up, Gandalf? DM Lewis. Opponent's going first. Not thrilled about this hand, but we are on the draw, and we can make treasures with Gala Graders. I'll try it. I mean, there's a chance we just get to curve out if we draw another untapped land, but all right, humans for the opponent. That is not an untapped land, so we'll play the tap land first. Coppercoat Vanguard for the opponent. Still not a land. Play Gala Greeters. This will at least let us start making treasures. Preferably, though, we will find a land here. We really need to draw some lands. Hopeful Initiate. No blocks, because I need the treasures off the Greeters. That's not a land. Alright, let's play Conclave, make a treasure. If they try to attack with the Vanguard again, I will block it with the Iconoclast. Yep, gonna block. Take 6, we're down to 8. Man, we just cannot find these lands. So we'll play Land Over Loam Speaker. Make a token. Use this token to play the Stalker. Gain 2 life. No attack. Now if we draw a land, we can at least play Voja. Opponent's another Lunarch veteran. Opponent's low on cards though. Warden of the Inner Sky. That can definitely help them get ahead. Help them scry. But that also means they're probably not going to attack as hard this turn, which is good for us. Any turns they take off trying to pump the Warden, we're happy with right now. And they can't attack with what they have left. Alright, so... Ooh. I guess we play Fleetfoot Dancer. We'll make another treasure. We just gotta hope we draw land eventually. And we'll get in there with these two. The opponent wants to block. We are happy with that. Double block. Nice. Yes, please. Back up to 14. Like, yeah, we lost the Fleetfoot Dancer, but I mean, they lost their ward and their +1/+1 bonus to everything. Or +1/+0. See if they decide to pump the Warden again. Every turn they take off from being hyper aggressive is good for us and gives us another chance. Yep. If they want to get in there for 3, that's fine with us. They put one on the bottom, that's good. Are they really gonna spend? They wouldn't do that, right? To kill our treasure token? Like, that would be so bad. Like, even if they did that, I would be happy. All right, so at least we drew a land. We'll play Land of Warstalker. We'll make another treasure. Play Sentinel of Lost Lore because we still have enough mana to play Voja next turn. We need some good blockers here. Gain 2. Exile their graveyard so they can't cast the Lunarch whenever they do find a white source. And we'll get in there with these two. Gotta get their life total down a little bit. Land for the opponent. They're gonna grow their Warden. One on the bottom, which, I mean, yeah, they get to attack us in the air for 4 now, but I mean, I'm gonna play Voja. Make a treasure. I could gain life, but I'm making the treasure because being able to storm the festival next turn could be absolutely huge. So no attacks. We've got a ton of elves on the battlefield, so if we survive this turn, he's probably just dead. Sigarda! That's really good. Thankfully, we can block most of his nonsense. Still tapping everything. I don't think that was the play at all. I don't think, and we drew a land too. Awesome. All right, storm the festival. What do we hit? Oh God. Okay. It's still another elf. Gain 2. Everything gets pumped. Everything gets really big. He's only got 2 blockers, so that is lethal. If he just left a couple more blockers, he might have gotten there. Because we did not hit well off of our Storm the Festival. But that'll do it. Victory. Who's next? Narcoid GZ. All right. What are you playing? You're going first, so that's good for him. This is reasonable. We'll keep mono red. Goblins, though. Cosmic Scan. That is technically a goblin. Conclave. Boulder and Thrill Seeker. Very good. Well, might as well block it. Same outcome either way. We'll play Sentinel of Lost Lore. Exile their graveyard. Fleetfoot Dancer should be very good. Mono faces Takazan. Cacophony's Camp. I was gonna say, I don't know why they would attack with that. Let's go ahead and play Fleetfoot. Get in there. One of blocks. Not dead after all. That's pretty good. Another Thrill Seeker. Boy, oh boy, that was a very good sequence. So now they can sacrifice the scamp to kill the dancer. Which realistically, if we draw a land, that's not the worst. See if they decide to just hit us in the face. They might be greedy. They proliferate. Yeah, they kill the dancer, flip their saga. Are they really gonna sacrifice? I wouldn't sacrifice the Thrill Seeker right now. They are. That's greedy. I definitely would have kept that around. Let's play with Stalker and Sentinel. That was very greedy. No attack. Because they're out of cards. They still need to deal 8 to us. And we've got a good blocking. They could have made combat a lot harder for us this turn if they had just kept the Thrill Seeker around. And potentially even buffed it bigger. Yep. It was close.